Hey guys, in this video I'm gonna teach you how to make this kind of fresnel effect applied to some planes to fake 2D elements as 3D elements. That being said, let's start with the video. Okay, now we are inside Blender and the first thing is create a plane and rotate it 90 degrees on the x-axis, and then create a second plane and this time rotate it 90 degrees in the x-axis and then rotate it 90 degrees on the z-axis. Once you do that, go in the first plane, so the one that is rotated only 90 degrees on the x-axis. Go in the shader editor and create a new material. In this case, disconnect the BSDF output, and we need a mix shader, and we need also a transparent BSDF. Now change the color and select the color you want. Go in the material properties and change the blend mode from opaque to alpha blend. And then if you want, you can just change also the shadow mode, but I leave as opaque at the moment. Connect the principal BSDF into the first input of the shader, and then the transparent BSDF as the second input of the mix shader. As you can see, if I switch into the render mode, we are starting to get some kind of alpha effect. Okay, let's create all the nodes that we need to connect into the factor section of the mix shader. So the first node I create will be a geometry node. Don't confuse that with geometry nodes, they are two complete different things. And we need the incoming input socket, just means, okay, we need the input of the vector of the camera, of the direction of the camera. Then I'll connect this node into a separate XYZ, and I'll create also a combine XYZ, and I'll create a vector math node and I'll set it as length. In this case, I'll connect the X, the X, the Z to the Z, and I'll connect the vector into the length node. So we took the input vector direction, which is the direction of the camera view. Then we want to get only the informations on the X and Z axis. So we separated the three elements to get just two elements, and we are inputting them as a 2D vector on the length node. I hope this in some ways it makes sense. My mathematical knowledge is kinda limited, so if you know more how this in background works, feel free to explain it in the comment section. As you can see, is starting to work right now, but we need to, I think in English it's called clamping the values. So we need a map range node. In my case, I'll use these settings, so .1 in the from minimum and from max .9. But usually I'll also use a second map range node to support the first one, and in my case I use the settings .6 and 1. If I go into the render mode now, as you can see, I get a better result, a better fading effect. Once I do that, I'll press the shield button here, which is the fake user button, and then I'll copy the material, and I also check again the shield, the fake user icon. I'll rename this material as first plane. Then I'll go into the second plane. I'll select the other copy of the material, and then in this other version I'll just change this little thing which is on the separate XYZ. I disconnect all of these, and I connect the Y into the X and the Z into the Y. And then I'll get this fake 3D effect. In your final material, you should remove this principled BSDF, and you have to put your material. I'll show you a little example. As you can see here, this is the example that you saw at the beginning of the video. This original shader was made by Joey Carolino, if I remember correctly. And as you can see, like here I have the Toonfire shader, and I just disconnected the principled BSDF, and yeah, that's it. You got your effect working. And I hope you liked this video, and see you soon, guys.